Hello guys, my name is Gary and welcome to ChessDelights.com YouTube channel. Have you been playing chess for a while and want to improve your chess endgame? There are a lot of tactics and strategies that we really need to learn, but if you want to learn the number one tip, Grandmasters always tell beginners to learn to get better at chess endgame, then you are on the right video. Okay, if you do have an awesome advice for beginners on how to get better at chess endgame, please do share it with us by leaving a comment below. Okay, so what is the number one tip Grandmasters always tell beginners to learn first when it comes to chess endgame? Okay, the answer is you need to study king, pawn, and rook endgames. See, my daughter gets frustrated when she loses or gets a draw in a chess game, even if she has a material advantage over her opponent. I can't really help her that much because I'm not an expert in endgame, so I decided to go on research and study some important chess endgame strategies for myself and for my daughter. It's because I understand that there are some important endgame strategies we need to keep in mind when playing chess, especially in a chess tournament. So I found out that the most common endgames in chess are those that end with rook end or a pawn endgame. What do you think? Well, grandmasters and chess experts says that half of the time chess games end with a rook and pawn endgame. The reason maybe is because rook develops later in the game and we usually have pawns left in every chess game. So learning how to win with king, pawn, and rook in endgames is very important. So let me share with you 5 king, pawn, and rook endgame strategies that I have learned. Here are the 5 endgame strategies for king, pawn, and rook endgame. First is use your rook to block checks. Second is perform a perpetual check. Third is remove protection of king. Fourth is push your opponent's king away. The last one is place rook behind pass pawn. Let us see some examples and what each of them means. First is use your rook to block checks. Okay, so let's take a look at a game from Tarash and Schlepster. So rook moved to b5 and check the king. So after rook b5 check, the black king moves to f6, and then the white rook tries to secure the 8th rank for white's pawn promotion. And then black starts checking the white king immediately. And king moves to g4. Rook g1 check. King h5. Black rook moves to g7. Then the white rook checks the black king. White rook is now attempting to promote the f4 pawn, but the king e7 moves near the promoting square and at the same time attacks the rook. Then the rook moves to f5. The black king follows at e6. Again, the black attacks the white rook. Rook g5. Rook h7 check. Black rook immediately checks the king after white rook offered an exchange. King g6. The black rook takes h3 pawn. White rook checks black king e5. King moves to d6. White rook moves to e1. Now black rook now is protecting the 8th rank and has also the ability to check the white king again. F5 by white, rook g8 check, king f7, rook a8. Now the black rook moves away from the white king, and the pawn moves to f6, rook a7 check, king g6 by white. Now the black rook leaves the 7th rank to attempt a check on g2, but white uses its rook to block the check. This is an example of using the rook to block a check in an endgame, and black's attempt was stopped. So that is the first strategy, and as you have seen from the example, you need to put your rook in a square where you can block checks from your opponent. If possible, your rook should be placed in the middle of the chessboard ready to block checks. Now let's take a look at the second strategy. Perform a perpetual check. Okay, so this is an example of a perpetual check or a draw. So after f6 of white pawn, black king moves to b4, attempting to capture the pawn on b3. Now white has the advantage of promoting its f7 pawn, and black immediately abandons the b2 square to stop the pawn on f7. So white will now try to block the black rook by going to f6 square. And then black king has successfully captured the pawn on b3, and white player moves to f6 to block the black rook. And that is where the perpetual check has started. Rook g2 check. White blocks the check with rook, then the black moves to f2, then white rook to f6, again rook g2 check, king moves to h7, rook h2 check, king moves to g7, rook g2 check. Now black will not stop checking the king, and a 3/4 repetition can be claimed or a draw for a perpetual check. If the king moves to the promoting square, black can attempt to push forward its pass pawn and promote any of the pawns. So this is an example of a perpetual check, performing a perpetual check or a draw using the rook. So that is performing perpetual check. Unlike the first video, this example helps you to claim a draw if you are on the losing side. Like if your opponent is going to have a chance for a queen, then a good strategy is to perform a perpetual check, because you know that getting a draw is much better than losing the game. At least you get half points than 0. Now the third strategy for the king pawn rook endgame is remove protection of king. Okay, so this is an example of removing protection of king, and after white pawn takes c5, black rook immediately checks the white king. King moves to c2, the black rook moves to b5, pawn takes d6, and black pawn takes d6. Now white moves pawn to d4. Now rook captures white's pawn d5. King moves to d3, protecting the pawn on d4. Now rook makes interesting move to h5, attempting to maybe check the white king. Now white king moves to c4, trying to be as close as possible to d4 pawn. Now black makes a waiting move by king to g7. And the mistake happened when white moves its pawn to b5. Now the black rook moves to h1, attempting to do a check to the white king because black has successfully removed all possible protection of the white king from black rook's checks. Now this game has become is a draw since rook can now go to d1, c1, or e1, and there's no way the king can protect the check from the black rook. So that is a popular example for this third strategy, and you may encounter this during your game. As you have seen in the video, one of the protection your opponent may use is its pawn. The only way to remove the protection is you should be able to leave your opponent's king out in the open, then you can perform a perpetual check. By doing that, you can force a draw. The fourth strategy is push your opponent's king away. Let's take a look at an example for this one. Okay, so this is an example of how to push your opponent's king away. And after rook takes a5, white is attempting to make an exchange by moving its white rook to e5, and this will definitely benefit white because the pawn on h4 has an excellent opportunity to be promoted. But black declines the exchange. Instead, black rook moves to a1. Now the king takes h5, black moves to g1. Now a second attempt from white to exchange rooks, and again black declines and instead moves to rook h1, rook f5, king b6. Now the black king is going to join the action, and white needs to push the king away to be successful in this endgame. Rook takes f7, rook c6, black king moves nearer. Now the rook moves to e7, and now white rook has blocked the e file and black king can no longer move to the e file. This is a good example of pushing your opponent's king away, and in this case, this is preparing to promote your pawns during the endgame. So that is the fourth strategy, which is to push your opponent's king away. So you have seen in the example, once you have established your pawn ready for promotion, you first need to keep your opponent's king away from your promoting pawn. You need to have at least 3 or 4 square distance between your king and your opponent's king. That is why you need to strategically use your king and rook to push your opponent's king away. Now the last strategy is place rook behind the passed pawn. Let's take a look at an example for this last strategy for king, pawn, and rook endgame. Okay, now in this example, we're going to look at placing your rook behind passed pawn. So after rook to h5, the black moves to a6. The black rook has now moved behind its passed pawn. Now white checks the king on d5, and then king c3 by black. Now rook d1, white is now trying to protect the promoting squares. a3 by black, king f5 by white, a2. Now black pawn on a2 will attempt to do a pawn promotion, and black's rook is very powerful behind the passed pawn. f4 by white. Now the black pawn got promoted, and black has successfully promoted it to its queen. Rook takes a1, which is the only option for black, and the black rook takes a1. And now black has an active rook in the game, and by placing your rook behind the passed pawn is a strong move during an endgame. It will help you eventually win the game in the endgame. So that is the last strategy, and a lot of beginners don't really know how to stop a pass pawn using their rook. Chess experts suggest that to prevent an opponent's pawn promotion, you need to keep in mind, you need to always keep in mind that you need to place your rook behind the pass pawn. Okay, guys, those are the 5 strategies for king, pawn, and rook endgame. You may find out that this may or may not work all the time, but will surely give your opponent something to think about. You just need to practice every day. Take a look at these examples and don't forget to use it, practice it, and memorize it. So again, there are still 5 ways I have written to get better at chess endgame, which I have researched, that you can check on my website that you may also want to learn. You just need to go to chessdelights.com/endgame and you can read 5 more ways to get better at chess endgame. These are not the most common chess endgames, but will surely improve your chess endgame knowledge. You can check out my blog post on chessdelights.com/endgame. Thank you for watching. Okay, so to summarize what you have learned from this video, the number 1 tip Grandmasters tells beginners to master first to get better at chess endgame. It's the king, pawn, and rook endgame. And in this video, I share 5 chess strategy for the king, pawn, and rook endgame. Number 1 is use your rook to block check. Number 2 is perform a perpetual check. Number 3, remove protection of king. Number 4, push your opponent's king away. And the last, number 5, place rook behind pass pawn. I hope you were able to learn something in this video, and if you want to learn 5 other ways to get better at chess endgame, please go to chessdelights.com/endgame. Thank you for watching.